من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد فإن خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدى هدى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. So as it has been announced, we're going to deal with an idea, concept that has been mentioned in the Quran by many ayat, but all of those ayat, although they're saying it in a different way, the message is still the same. Allah could have revealed just one ayat concerning the issue, but He mentioned a lot of ayat, and different things are being mentioned, and different examples are being given, and they all are pointing to the same issue. So as Muslims, we should know from the basics of the knowledge in our deen, especially when it comes to the Quran and the Sunnah, is that repetition about a specific thing is because of its importance. So the Basmala is an ayat of every single surah of the Quran with the exception of Surah At-Tawbah. That repetition over and over again is because the Basmala is extremely important. So repetition is important. And the idea here is an issue that Allah has commanded us with, that Bani Israel, the Ahlul Kitab, they fell into it. And as I sit here and I look at you and you look at me, and we look around ourselves, we think back to our homes, to the city and the streets of Leicester. We see, as the Prophet told us, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what happened to them. Everything that happened to them is going to happen to us. And this is one of the big problems that happened to them, and it continues to happen to us. So I would like to take this time out to call those people who are giving da'wah ilallah to take it easy, calm down a little bit, read the room, know the reality of our community, and stop blasting the Muslims. Address these issues with an approach and in a way that is going to be effective and not divisive, and cause more ikhtilaf and tafarruq, and cause people to have the tanfir of al-Islam. So the issue is what has been given the title, Enter into al-Islam Wholeheartedly. So in this audience, there is a revert Muslim who was the newest Muslim in our community. And this audience is an elderly man, an elderly woman who have been in al-Islam longer than everybody else. In this masjid right now, we all have different backgrounds, and Allah knows everyone's specific background. But everybody here is responsible for practicing Islam in its complete, total form. And try your best not to be a person who cherry picks from al-Islam. The one who wants to take from al-Islam what pleases them, and what doesn't please them, they don't want to take it. Because this is one of the signs of the hypocrites, one of the signs of the munafiqeen. I sit before you. This concept of entering into al-Islam is wajib upon me, fardu ayn upon me. I can't sit here and give this talk and forget about my own self. So today's dhikr is just that, it's a reminder to those sisters who are downstairs, and we're all dealing with different issues, as I said. And you'll get many of the examples, because there are many examples. The man was married to his wife, and they're not married anymore. The divorce has happened. And he didn't get along with his ex-wife, and she doesn't get along with him, and they don't like each other. He has to fear Allah as it relates to his ex-wife. He has to still take care of his children. He has to still take care of his children. So there's the man who divorces his wife and he abandons his children. And he leaves the mother to take care of 3, 4, 5, 6 children all by herself. He's picking from al-Islam. And he may be a person who has a lihya. He may be a person who wears a thobe. Because Islam told you to have a lihya. And Islam told you to wear whatever you wear above your ankles. We have to enter into all of al-Islam. And there's not a person sitting here, because no one is an angel. No one's from the malaika, except that we pick and choose. Islam told you how to govern your hair as young people. Islam told you how to govern your hair. So you can't pick and choose. And you say, well, I don't want to do my hair like that. I'm going to do it the other way because it's the environment that I live in, or I want to be cool, or this is the style. Wearing hijab, all of those issues. I want to first begin by saying, in no way in the world am I sitting here and I'm saying that we're not going to make mistakes. We're all going to make mistakes. All of Adam's children makes mistakes. Even our father Adam, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi, approached the tree and disobeyed Allah, and as a result of that, that's a mistake. That's a ma'asiyah. And he was expelled from al-Jannah. But after he was expelled from al-Jannah, Allah gave him huda, guidance. So I'm not saying you can't make mistakes. But I am saying when we make mistakes, we should acknowledge our shortcomings. And we should stay away from the major mistakes. The major mistakes. إن تجتنبوا كبائر ما تنهون عنه نكفر عنكم سيئاتكم. If you people just stay away from the major things that you've been prohibited from falling into, then Allah will give you the takfir of your dhunub and your ma'asi, the major mistakes. But I'm here to say that it's even the major mistakes that we cherry pick from the religion, and we fall into major mistakes. People are giving dawah. I've been coming to this masjid for some years, and the brothers continue to invite me knowing full well that I'm a person who's going to say what I believe. For an example, I've been saying in this masjid for years, it is not for you or me to choose a way other than the way that the companions followed this religion. All of these jama'at, all of these imams, all of these sheikhs, all of these communities, all of these ideas that are out there, I can't cherry pick and I say, I take that, I leave that. No. It's wajib for everybody to take the understanding and the application of how Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, Ukash and Bilal, Khadija, Aisha, Safiya, radiyallahu anhum ajma'in. That's our religion. So the situation that's going on in Palestine is not the first time like something has happened like this, big fitna. So when we look at it, we have to look at it and we can't cherry pick. We have to make sure that we are munqadeen. The way we look at it, the way we understand it, the way we deal with it, is that we have to look back. How did those companions deal with this? Did they deal with it with ignorance? Did they deal with it emotions? So we have some people giving dawah, and they claim that they're giving dawah to what I'm talking to you about. Follow the way of the companions. What we're going to call a salafiyah. A salafiyah. Bite my tongue for no one, not shy, not embarrassed. But is salafiyah the property of Abu Usamah, a group from the group? No. It's just taking this religion and understanding it the way those companions understood it. Because what was the religion doing that time is the religion now. What wasn't the religion doing it is not the religion now, even if people are calling themselves this word. But this is the point I want to make. There are some people who claim that they're calling to the Quran and the Sunnah, and they're calling to the way of the companions, but it's just kalam, it's cherry picking. Because the way the companions were is that they knew the importance of being united. فَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. They knew the importance of that. So if I'm calling to Salafiyah, and I'm just breaking people and dividing people for no reason, then I'm not following what those companions brought. I'm not. It's a big problem. قُلْ بِئْسَ مَا يَأْمُرُكُمْ بِهِ إِيمَانُكُمْ إِن كُنْتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. If that's what your iman is telling you to do, this is a terrible thing, to split people the way what we find going on. So my point is, the first ayat we want to bring to your attention, and we'll bring these other ayat until the time, inshallah, is exhausted, is the command of Allah. And he said, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu udkhulu fi silmi kaffatan wa la tattabi'u khutuwat ash-shaytan innahu lakum aduwwun mubin. O you who believe, enter into al-Islam wholeheartedly. Come into the whole religion. And don't follow the footsteps of the shaitan. Verily, shaitan is a clear enemy to you. Mubin. I want to deal with the first part of the ayat, but I have to talk about this second part very quickly. وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ. In the shaitan. Shaitan is a clear enemy. You've got to listen to this. It is a ni'mah from Allah Azza wa Jal that Allah will make it clear to us that shaitan is our enemy. Because a lot of people, we don't know who our enemies are. You think someone is your friend and they're your enemy, man. You let a shaitan, an enemy, into your house. The great iconic African-American figure that I'm always telling you young people about from America. His name is Malcolm X. You guys have to go back and read the autobiography of that man to know something about that man. That man, had he been living right now, he couldn't read Surah Al-Fatiha with tajweed. He couldn't read the Quran. He didn't have a lot of knowledge about the religion, but he was a man with courage. He wasn't one of those people who was apologetic and acquiesce about being a Muslim, about being black, about being other than the authorities. He wasn't a person who was afraid to talk, even in Cambridge and Oxford University, when he didn't even graduate from high school. And then when it came to his religion and his people, he stood up for his religion and his people. I don't want to see one of you become a politician like some of the Somali Muslim politicians in America, who sometimes they say some good things. She says some good things. They say some good things. But at other times, they want to support LGBT and they say other bad things. We have to enter into the religion all together, complete, 100%. You got to know who your enemy is. The Prophet ﷺ used to make a dua. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this part, but it's important. He used to make a dua and he used to say, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min khalil makir. عينه تراني وقلبه يرعاني إذا رأى حسنة دفنها وإذا رأى سيئة أذاعها. Oh Allah, I seek refuge. Protect me from a friend, a Khalil. I really believe that's my man, that's my boy. I think that. He has me thinking, me and him are homies, we're friends. I seek refuge in you from a friend who is treacherous. When he looks at me, he makes me think that we're okay. But behind me, his heart, he wants me to be destroyed. If anything happens to me bad, he's happy. That could be your wife. That could be your husband. That could be your friend who you're just hanging out with. That could be your relative. Got to seek refuge in Allah from the Khalil Makir. From his du'as is that he used to say, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khiyana, fa innaha bi's al-batana. Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from treachery, because treachery is a terrible thing to be a part of. Anybody here who got stabbed in their back by their friend, by a close relative, You'll never forget the sourness of being stabbed in your back. You never expected it. And that's in our personal lives. Why I want to mention that? I want to mention that right now because of what's going on in Palestine. These politicians of the UK and America are clearly showing us they are not our friends. You can vote for them all you want. I'm not here to say voting is haram. I'm not here to say that. But I am here to say the way they make decisions about issues as it relates to us clearly shows you these people are not our friends. And they don't speak on our behalf. And if we're going to vote for people, I don't believe in being a Democrat or Republican, and no matter what, I'm going to vote for a Democrat. Because African Americans in America vote for Democrats. I'm not going to do that. I want to vote for someone who's going to do what I voted him in office to do. So all of these countries from the United Nations Security Council, and I'm not here to be political, but I gotta mention this. Every country says stop the war. It's not even a war. Stop the genocide. Stop the oppression. And the UK abstains, and the United States say, no, we don't agree. And it goes forward. They're not our friends. Not only are they not our friends, but this is the point about today's talk. They have a responsibility, al-Kitab, of practicing what Isa ibn Maryam brought. They claim they believe in Isa, they believe in Musa, they believe in Ibrahim. And in their book is this idea of being fair and just to people. But we don't see that. Now, as you sit there, you can clearly see what's going on. They're not practicing their religion. Those people are secularists. Those are secularists. We have Muslims who are secularists as well. Because we cherry pick from the religion. There are things I'm going to do and there are things that I'm not going to do, although they're from the religion. The Muslim is responsible for standing with the truth no matter where it goes and who it falls on. If the Jew is correct and the Muslim is wrong, we're going to support the truth. If my worst enemy is correct and my mother and my father are wrong, I have to udkhulu fi silmi kaffatan. I got to come into this religion all completely committed to everything. Wherever the truth goes, we have to go. So we know, and I want to get on because I don't want to take a long time, but I can't let this opportunity pass me by. I have your ears. I have your eyes, your mind, your thinking. You vote for them people if you want. These people are not our friends. They'll come out and they'll tell us and they'll teach our community. LGBT, they have a right. Children, they have rights. Women, they have rights. Respect Muslims, the rights of people. We know LGBT is not from your religion, but you have to respect. You people are not respecting women and children that you're dropping bombs on. You're dropping bombs on hospitals. Women have the right, Muslims from Afghanistan, to learn in school. You Taliban, they got a right. You people are backwards. Okay. But you're killing women and you're killing children. So you guys, as third-generation Muslims who come from Somalia, wherever you come from, we better get out of our heads and our hearts that we're third, second-class citizens. We may be third generation here or second generation here, but we can't accept being second and third-class citizens. We have rights. And one of the rights that we have is to choose your religion and to stand up for your religion. What's truthful about it. So enter into the religion wholeheartedly. And don't follow the steps of a shaitan. The one who does that, he's the true believer. And that's why we have these other ayat that describe the believer. إِنَّمَا كَانَ قَوْلَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِذَا دُعُوا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَالرَّسُولِ لِيَحْكُمَ بَيْنَهُمْ مَنْ يَقُولُ سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا. Verily, the statement of the believers when they are encouraged to come, let Allah judge in your case. Let Rasulullah judge in your case. The statement of the believer is, we hear and we obey. Wherever the truth comes, I'm going to take it. So we have our community, and you guys are growing up. Since I became a Muslim, it's an ongoing issue. The people of the madhabs. The 4 imams of the madhab, inshallah, are from the awliya of Allah, inshallah. We love them. They're from the scholars of Islam, from the best personalities in Islam, inshallah. But those men are not ma'soom, each and every one of them. So if one of them made a mistake, we're going to leave what he said while still respecting and honoring him, but we're going to be judged by what Allah said in His Messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's the real believing of Islam. Another characteristic that Allah said about the believers, مَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَا مُؤْمِنَةٍ إِذَا قَضَى اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ أَمْرًا أَنْ يَكُونَ لَهُمَ الْخِيَرَةُ مِنْ أَمْرِهِمْ. It is not befitting for a true believing man and a true believing woman, if Allah or His Messenger say something, for them to have any say-so. Allah said, don't wear your hair like that. Don't get a haircut like that. And it's very clear. It's very clear. That's what Allah said. Allah said, get up and pray 5 times every day at least. Naturally, during the course of your life, you are going to miss a prayer. Intentionally, you are going to miss a prayer, and Allah knows best, but definitely unintentionally. The Prophet missed a prayer, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, slept on Salatul Fajr by mistake, and it passed him by. He, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, missed Salatul Asr. All of the companions, because they were busy and they couldn't pray the Salatul Wusta. You think you're not? No, you're going to miss a prayer. But I'm talking about the one who every day misses Fajr, every day. Whether Fajr is early, like 4 o'clock, or whether it's late, like now, 6:30, he still can't get up. As the father in a house, and I know it's difficult dealing with these Generation Z kids, these ungrateful Generation Z kids. They're ungrateful, I'm telling you. And that's why if some of you are grateful and diligent, and having, respect for your parents, I make dua that Allah Azza wa Jalla give you children who are better than you. See what I mean? But the way our children are is, the child will make a mistake, he'll do something wrong, and when the father or the mother say something to him, he gets mad at them. This is what we're dealing with. So the mother, she prays, but her oldest child doesn't pray, and she's afraid to say something because it's going to be a volcano in the house. She doesn't want to deal with the attitude of the boy or the girl. No, man, you're a Muslim. You're not a real Muslim until you submit to what Allah and His Messenger say and stay away from the magicians. Let us share with you this hadith, this ayat, and an incident to bring this issue home again. Allah Azza wa Jalla revealed this ayat showing the way of the munafiqeen. He subhanahu wa ta'ala said in this ayat, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ عَلَى حَرْفٍ فَإِنْ أَصَابَهُ خَيْرٌ أَطْمَئِنَّ بِهِ وَإِنْ أَصَابَتْهُ فِتْنَةٌ يَنْقَلَبْ عَلَى وَجْهِهِ. From the people is that person who worships Allah on the edge. He worships Allah. He's a Muslim, so he claims. But he worships Allah on the edge. If good hits him, khair hits him, he's happy. If fitna hits him, he turns on his face. انقلب على وجهه خسر الدنيا والآخرة ذلك هو الخسران المبين. He turns back, he apostates, he leaves the religion. Allah said, this is the real loss. This is the real loss. This ayat was revealed. Listen, why was it revealed? It was revealed because in the beginning of Islam, when the companions had to deal with Palestine, that situation in Palestine right now, that's what you had to deal with if you came into Islam at the beginning. one of us, if you look at our jackets and our clothes, our socks, some of us have long johns on. The clothes that we wear have been provided by our parents. Some of our fathers came here, grandfathers, they started hustling and grinding. Now they provide for us, and everything we have comes from them. So we don't know the qima and the value of things. We don't know the value of it. You'll get up and you'll leave your jacket in the masjid. You'll leave things, leave the front door unlocked. You don't know the value of stuff. Because you didn't have to sweat and bleed and work for it. But when you sweat and you bleed and you work for the thing and you get calluses and things like that, you know the value. I'm sure you must have seen on the social media, they have a skit that says, when I used to live with my parents, and then the person uses the toothpaste and they pour a lot of toothpaste out. When they use the toilet tissue, they use a lot of toilet tissue. When they wash the dishes, they wash and waste a lot of water. And then they say, when I started living by myself, they take a little bit of toothpaste out, just a little bit. Only use a little bit of toilet tissue. Why? Because he has to pay for that. He has to pay for the electric bill. He has to pay for the water bill. So it means something to him. But your kid doesn't care. Same thing with this Palestinian issue. Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali, those people came into Islam and they had their tribesmen to protect them. But Sumayya, Ammar, Yasir, Khabbab ibn Arat, these people didn't have anybody to protect them. They were killing them people. And when it happened, they dealt with it a particular way. They came into Islam and they held on to Islam. But from the people are those who worship Allah on the edge. What does that mean, worshiping Allah on the edge? One of the meanings, and the primary meaning is, if he came into Islam and he had animals, and the animals gave birth to baby animals, cows, camels, sheep, after accepting Islam, he said, Alhamdulillah, this is a beautiful religion. If he came into Islam and he had crops and the rain came down, he said, Alhamdulillah, this is a beautiful religion. Allah, Allah, Allah. So if things went well for him, he was happy about his decision. But if he came into Islam and things didn't go his way, انقلب على وجهه. It didn't go his way. And then he got mad and he apostated. She came into Islam and she married the Muslim. He gave her dawah from Ahlul Kitab. She was in Jahiliyyah, or she was not practicing. She was a Muslim raised up, no hijab. She started practicing. She put proper hijab on. The marriage didn't work out. When the divorce came, she took the hijab off. She apostated and left the religion. We say, hey lady, hey girl, did you come to Islam for Allah, or did you come to Islam for that man? You are worshiping Allah on the harf, like a fair weather friend. Fair weather. Right now the weather is not so fair. Fair weather is when the sun is out and it's a nice day. Not very hot, not very cold. It's not fair. It's, cloudy, rainy. You don't want to be a fair weather Muslim. The fair weather Muslim is the one when the going is easy, he's okay. But when pressure comes to him, that's when they start waving in the wind. We can't be like that. We can't be like that. You're going to be tried. And these people are going to blow on you. And you're going to have fitan and imtihan. It's going to happen. When those things happen, what are you going to do? You want to give up? You look outside right now, Khwani. It is not always raining. It is not always sunny. It is not always hot. It is not always cold. It is not always daytime. It is not always nighttime. It's like this. That's life. It's going to fluctuate. وَتِلْكَ الْأَيَامِ نُدَاوِلُهَا بَيْنَ النَّاسِ. Sometimes you're going to win. Sometimes you're going to lose. Sometimes you're going to be happy. Sometimes you're going to be sad. Sometimes you're going to have money. Sometimes you're going to be broke. So what do you do when you're broke? You're going to start drinking to forget your problems. You're going to start smoking weed to forget your problems, to medicate yourself. You're going to stop praying. The person had a baby or they were pregnant and the baby didn't come out. The baby didn't come out. The baby died. Stillbirth. The baby died after 9 months, came out dead. And the lady says, why? Why you do this to me, Allah? And she stops praying because she looks at that fitna like it's from Allah Azza wa Jal. Many ayat. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَقُولُ آمَنَّا بِاللَّهِ فَإِذَا أُوذِيَ فِي اللَّهِ جَعَلَ فِتْنَةَ النَّاسِ كَعَذَابِ اللَّهِ. From the people of those people who say, I believe in Allah, I'm a Muslim, I'm on the Quran and Sunnah, I'm Salafi, I'm from Ahl Sunnah, I'm a Muslim, I'm not a kafir. But as soon as something happens to him from the people that he doesn't like, it's a problem, it hurts him, it causes him, problems, he makes their fitna to him as if Allah Azza wa Jal is punishing him. He blames Allah for that, as opposed to being patient and riding the situation out. So the point here is, all of these ayat, and other than these ayat, are teaching people, hey, be a real Muslim. Things are not going to always be easy for you. The Prophet told us about the reality of being in this dunya and being a true mu'min, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, innama khuliqa al-mu'min mufattana. The believer has been created and he's going to be tried. So the older people from amongst us, the older ones, people who have gray, people who are married, we know what it is. I gotta pay bills, man. Every month I have to come up with the money to pay bills. All my son has to do, for an example, at 13 years old, all he has to do, he's not even in the regular school, all he has to do is go to the madrasa of the tahfidh of the Quran, get on the bus, get there, wait until his turn comes, does the pages that he has to read, and then come back home. Make sure that the kitchen garbage is empty, the toilet, the bathroom garbage is empty. Clean his small room by making his bed and his brother's bed, the bunk bed, and cleaning it up. That's all he has to do. And on Wednesday and Thursday, put the bin out so that when the garbage man comes, and then that's all he has to do. And every week I have to say, take the bin out, take the garbage out. Every week I have to say that. And that's all he has to do. And he can't see and he can't understand. No matter how many times I sit down with him to talk to him, he can't understand. I'm not doing this because I hate you, man. I'm doing this so that when you get my age, inshallah, you'll know how to pay bills. You'll get out of that bed and not be lazy and go pay bills. When you come back home from the tahfidh of the Quran, all you have to do is do your hour of muraja'ah right then. And then before you go to bed, do another hour. But what does he want to do? He wants to sit on the PlayStation and waste all the whole day, hours. And if I'm gone and my mother and my wife tell him do this, he goes, like my wife did something bad for him or to him. So you young brothers right now, your life is easy, man. Not real easy. It's a complicated time to live, but it's easy compared to what your mother has to deal with, compared to what grown-ups have to deal with. So every believer, as you get older and older and older, you're going to have trials and tribulations. Every time you get a trial and tribulation, you're going to throw in a towel and say, I give up? Are you going to be one of those people who stand up straight with pride, know what you're saying, and say, no, I'm going to put my best foot forward and bring my A game to the table? I want you to consider this other ayat as well. This ayat, because the society that we're living in right now is a society, I don't care how religious the mother and the father are, but our children, along with us, we're going to be exposed to a lot of evil things. Things that are preparing the way and the time for the Dajjal. That tremendous fitna of a Dajjal. All of this lying and all of this kadhib, like the Palestinian situation, for anybody to get up in front of the camera and to keep blaming the Palestinian people for what's going on, he's a kadhab, he's a liar. He's a person who something is wrong. It's a clear example of how the truth can be lost in the minds of some people. Rasulullah called these times as-sanawat khadda'at, the years of deceit. These are the years of deceit. You cannot believe people. You have to believe people with a grain of salt, as they say. That stuff that comes to us in WhatsApp and social media, don't believe in that stuff. The vast majority of information that's coming to us is kadhib, democracy, kadhib. So does that mean that there are no nice non-Muslims and no one's telling the truth? No, I'm not saying that. But we get daily, steady diets of lying to the point where the truth is going to become falsehood and falsehood is going to become the truth. Up is going to be down, down is up. A tawheed is going to be shirk, and the shirk is tawheed. We're about to get into the days of kufr and shirk, Christmas days. Christmas coming up. There's no way in the world that the debate should be on the table with the Muslims. Can we say Merry Christmas? Can we? It shouldn't even be on the table. But there will be those Muslims who, and trying to be nice or whatever. So I want to share this with you from what happened during the time of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam about entering to al-Islam wholeheartedly. You know, all personalities, we have to put people in their right places. You got to put your mother and your father in the right place. You have to put people in authority like the police. You have to look at them as if they're the police, especially in America if they got a gun and you're black. You better put him in the right place because you'll get shot. You'll get shot and killed. If you didn't respect that police officer in America who has a gun, he will kill you because of your color. You have to put your teacher, even if he's a kafir, you have to put the head teacher, you got to put them in their right place. You have to put the Muslim in the right place. But we're living in a time where this is not the time for that. This is the time where things are not in the right place, where the child becomes like the parent and the parent becomes the child. The scholar and the knowledgeable one, people won't listen to them, but the ignorant one, they'll be listened to. I was shocked. I was shocked when I saw this problem in Palestine, and some of the people were disagreeing with themselves, and the du'at of al-Islam, your du'at, the famous du'at in America, in the UK, all we're doing is fighting and bickering and fighting. We're fighting each other. And because I don't agree with you, I'll call him, you're a Zionist. Just because I don't agree with his point of view, I don't agree with his point of view, me. But I'm not going to call a brother a Zionist. I'm not going to call him a Jew. I'm not going to call him that. But that's how we are. But look what happened. Respect personalities. Respect older people. Respect scholars. But in respecting personalities, we don't go overboard. We don't worship Allah on the edge by raising the personality above his position, where whatever he says, we're going to believe it, we're going to support it, we're going to make excuses. Nah, there's a point where you have to draw a line and say, I don't agree with what the Sheikh said. I heard it, I listened to it, and I don't agree. What the Sheikh is saying is wrong. We can't make excuses for him. If there was any person, human being, that we should put over his station, we should put him above his station, who would that one person be? I'm asking you. Who would it be? Who would it be? Rasulullah. But even him, we don't put him above his station. What's putting him above his station? Making dua to him, saying that he knows the ilm al-ghayb, saying that he never died, things like that. Saying that he's from the nur of Allah, things like that. Saying that he is Hazir, Nazir, he's everywhere at the same time. We're putting him above his station. But Allah Ta'ala mentioned in this, using him as an example, and about entering to al-Islam wholeheartedly. He said, subhanahu wa ta'ala, ما محمد إلا الرسول قد خلت من قبله الرسل أفإن مات وقتل انقلبتم على أعقابكم ومن ينقلب على عقبيه فلن يضر الله شيئا وسيجزي الله الشاكرين. Allah is nothing but the messenger of Allah. There were many messengers who came before him. If he dies or if he is killed, Are you people going to turn back on your heels and leave al-Islam? And anyone who does that, you don't hurt Allah one bit by doing that. That doesn't hurt Allah, doesn't hurt His religion. In the battle of Badr, some of the munafiqeen, they refused to go out to fight, and the Muslims needed them in terms of the numbers. The non-Muslims are 1,000 in number, the Muslims are 300. And those guys, they broke away and said, we're not going. It was in the best interest of the Muslims for them not to go. And they needed them. But we don't need that type of person. You're not hurting Islam and Allah by that decision. Allah is with the truth and with the believers. So Allah ended the ayat by saying, Allah Azza wa Jal, He is thankful. He has shukr. And He will reward those people who do the right thing. So here we have this situation of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm really talking to you brothers who are like students of knowledge, and you have people who you respect who are teaching you. Back in the 80s, when the dawah of the Sunnah spread all across America, and my people became Muslims, and they got on real Islam, and we started to grow and develop our community. There were many efforts in America historically where African Americans would try to get themselves together. Each effort failed because they didn't have the right formula. Each effort, it will fail. The Black Panthers, the Nation of Islam, the Weathermen, many, Marcus Garvey, many grassroots organizations. They tried to help African Americans who are poor, downtrodden, lost. We have a lot of issues. We still suffer as a result of slavery to this day. And this is why they have Jay-Z and these people, they're the examples for us. These people are la khayra fihim, no benefit. They don't have intellectual African Americans as our leaders. They have these hip hop artists, these girls who dress and dance the way they do. That's who the young African American wants to be like. So every time there was an organization trying to help our people, it will fail easily. But when Islam came and the Sunnah came, those people saw this is going to be a problem. This is dangerous. Because if we allow these people to get on this, it's going to be a problem. So they did everything they could to destroy it, and they were successful. They started putting inside of our roles some things that don't work with our dawah in al-Islam. And one of the things that they put inside of our hearts and our sufuf was going overboard in the Sheikh. The Sheikh, one Sheikh, became the epitome of the truth. Whatever he said was the truth. And whatever he didn't say, it wasn't the truth. And the Sheikh can tell us, what's your name, my man? Huh? Abdul Ahad? Sami Allah Hassan? This brother right here, the Sheikh says he's the oldest Salafi brother in America. This brother can't be more than 25 years old. He looks like he's 18 or something, 16. How old are you? 17. He's 17. The Sheikh said to the people, he's the oldest, most knowledgeable person in America from your group. And we said, yeah, that's right, Sheikh. Because he said it. You can't put people above their places like that. You can't put your wife like that, your husband like that, the sheikh like that, the teacher like that, because you can't do the prophet like that. So if that person were to die, what are we going to do after he dies? Are we going to leave Islam? So if and when the sheikh dies, and he's going to die, when he dies, you watch what happens. Because we connected ourselves to the man, to the person. So if he makes a mistake, we can't say that's a mistake. Don't be on your religion like that. Don't cherry pick from the religion of al-Islam. What I like, I'll do it. When I want to fast, the days I want to, I will. The days of Ramadan, I don't want to fast, I'm going to break my fast. All of these things that you young people are challenged with, and they are a lot. I just gave you a few, like your hair. I don't know what is so difficult for the Muslim to understand the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Man tashabbaha biqawmin fahuwa minhu. Whoever resembles a people, he is from those people. We cannot resemble a people if they're known by that thing. It's our religious responsibility to look different from them, like our wives and our daughters and our sisters. We're not telling you, don't leave your hair like that because we want to give you a hard time. We're trying to tell you, this is a religious responsibility. The man came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He had 2 thobes on, one out and one under. And they had been dyed orange, red. They were red. The Prophet told the people sallallahu alaihi wasallam, anyone who wears this won't have any part of the hereafter. Whoever resembles a people, he's going to be from those people. Don't wear this. The companions, khalas, that's all they needed to know. They said, we're going to avoid it. It's red. It's a solid red. We're going to stay away from it. The Muslim today, he says, red is my favorite color. I don't care what, I don't care anything. No, and that's just an example. And there are many examples. There are many examples. Islam is not telling you and it's not telling me that we can't have fun, that we can't laugh, that we can't celebrate, but it's telling us there's a way that we exist and there's a way that we don't exist. As simple as that. It's not difficult. Now, as a father, and I want to tell you people this, I was in Columbus, Ohio over the summer, and I went to a masjid called Ibn Taymiyyah, a nice masjid with the majority of the people there are Somali. And I met a lot of the shabab there. One brother in particular who was taking me around was telling me about his life. And he was telling me how when his mother and his father came to America, they didn't speak English that well and they didn't want to make any trouble. And the non-Muslims, the white people who they were dealing with, who were trying to help them, used to come and take the kids to church on Sunday. Not church, but activities. They would go to the next town, they would go to the park, they would go swimming, they would go this, they would do that, do different things. They would never go to the church, but they were missionaries. The white people were missionaries. And when Christmas time came around, they would go to those plays, and they would get toys, and they would get gifts, and they learned the songs. The mother and the father were, the mother miskina, the father miskeen. They don't really know. You can't really blame them. And they're not trying to make any waves. They're not trying to make trouble, but they believe in Allah. They're Muslims. But they gave their kids to their enemy. And that's what Malcolm X said. He said, any person, any adult, akramakumullah ya akhi. Any adult, any man, any woman, any mother, if you hand your child over to your enemy, you're a fool. I tell you, take your kids out of public school. Take your kids out of public school. Like this masjid is part of the responsibility of the admin here and the Muslims here to into al-Islam wholeheartedly. It means you have to put a lot of your money, not some of your money, into the programs of this masjid. Masjid shouldn't have to beg the community because we're destroying our children. We're destroying them. Wallahi. Anyway, this brother was telling me his story, and his story was he started liking Christmas because of the songs that entered into his heart. He didn't believe in it, but because his mother and his father exposed him to that stuff, unknowingly, there was a time when he left his religion and he started to behave like those people. So now that Christmas is coming up, we have to do that reoccurring debate and discussion. We have to give khutbahs and lessons. Can you say Merry Christmas? Can you receive gifts? Can you give gifts? Can you attend a Christmas party? What do you do when they give you over and over and over and over again? And I'm going to end with this. I have a little baby. He's only 5 years old. He was in a nursery in Birmingham. The nursery, the objective of the nursery was that the 30 kids in the nursery, they just learned how to socialize. They were not learning anything, ABC, maths, none of that. Just how to play with each other. All of the teachers, 6 of them were Muslims, all women. But the head lady of the school was a Christian. I went in there before enrolling him. I said, listen, Christmas, he's not coming to school. Easter, he's not coming to school. Let me see the curriculum. They showed me the curriculum. For the Eid al-Adha, Eid al-Fitr, 30 kids, all Muslim. On the Eid, one day before the Eid, they draw a picture of a cookie. And they get a gingerbread cookie man like this. And they draw a picture of a cookie and they take it home. That's it. Saying Eid Mubarak. One cookie and you draw the cookie man. That's it. But before Christmas, white Santa Claus come in. He sits down. Each kid sits on his lap. The Muslim teachers, they become the elves. The Muslim teachers become the elves. I told them, I'm not here to change your curriculum. I'm just telling you, I don't want none of this for my kid. The lady said, oh yeah, okay, Mr. Abu. Okay, Mr. I say, I'm not Abu. I'm Abu Usamah or Mr. Zahabi. If my name is Muhammad, don't call me Mo. My name is Abdul Latif, don't call me Larry. My name, don't do that with my name unless I allow you. She said, okay, don't worry, Mr. Zahabi. Okay, no problem. So my kid, he knows. He'll say things that are inappropriate. He will say things that are inappropriate because of the way I'm teaching him. I went to the American Embassy 2 weeks ago, got his American passport, got his American jinsiyah. The lady came and said, Mr. Zahabi, I'm pleased to grant your two children the American passport and American jinsiyah bi'tibar because you're an American, da-da-da-da. I said to my boy, playing, oh, congratulations, little man. Congratulations, Captain America. My boy said, I'm the Black Panther. And he said it seriously. He said, I'm the Black Panther. I'm not Captain America. Now, the point is not Wakanda is not real. That ain't the point. The point is he wants to connect with something that he can relate to. So he'll say that. Anyway, you know what the people did in my absence? They told my boy, in my absence, you know, everybody's wearing a dress. All of the boys are wearing dresses today. Look at them. Ismail, just look at them. You got to wear a dress. My boy said, I'm not wearing a dress. Haram. Little kid, I'm not doing that. I'm not wearing a dress. You know what they said? They said, it's a red dress. It's red. We got a red dress. Spider-Man likes red. Spider-Man is red. They know my boy likes Spider-Man. My boy said, okay, Spider-Man is all right. And put the dress on my boy. And another parent saw that, told me about it. And I'm going to stop there at this point and not tell you the rest of the story. But you can imagine that it was fire in the hole. That's what they used to say in the war. They're going to throw the bomb and the thing and say, fire in the hole, so you can get away. Because it was fire in the hole. And I went back to deal with them. So whether you like it or not, these people are working on our kids, and they're working on us. And that's why the masjid has to be the focal point of everybody's life in this community. It has to be the place where you're coming to hang out. It has to be the place where you're attending, not all day, every day, but this has to be the focal point. It has to be the place that represents us as clean, as nice, the things that it needs. It's our job to take care of this masjid. So enter into al-Islam wholeheartedly, ikhwani, and don't be fake Muslims. Just like you don't want a fake friend, a fair weather friend. When everything is okay, he's there with you. We're going to go and eat and I'm paying. He's there. But when I get sick, he's not there. When I want to move house, he's not there to help me move my stuff. I'm going to move house. I need help. He's not there. When I need to borrow some money to pay my bills, he's not there. I'm going to go to Umrah. I'm going to Umrah. I need someone to take care, watch my house, stay with. He's not there for me. So don't be one of those Muslims who's always asking, what can I get? What can I get? But be one of those Muslims who you're giving to the masjid and you're giving to al-Islam. We're going to stop here, inshallah. That's my 40 minutes, bi'idhnillah. If you brothers have any questions and the mu'allim Eid allows us, we'll deal with your questions, inshallah, 5 minutes.